Maroni, Pacific greetings and a big fat talo falava. Welcome to a very special segment on this Friday, the 29th of October 2021 with Ela Lohini Stansel. We thought we'll bring this segment because there is a special vaccination drive-through event happening tomorrow only. But anyways, before we bring in our guest for that segment, Talofa Ela.
Aloha Lorenzo. It's great to be back in a kind of different setting today, but as we know, we attended some vaccination events today and we will be attending one tomorrow, and we have 3 representatives from that vaccination event.
129 positive cases today, Ronowinga. You and I have a part to play, especially for our whānau and our ainga and families that have not been vaccinated. Now, the Samoa Youth Tutu Whaatasi is calling out all Pacific young people to stand together, whether you are a Samoan, Tokelauan, Fijian, Cook Islander, Niuean, or Tuvaluan. Samoa Youth Tutu Whaatasi is calling out all young Pacific people to come together, and if you're looking for somewhere to get your first or second dose, come on down to their vaccination youth rally this weekend at Mount Samoa, Saturday the 30th of October 2021, 141 Beta Drive, Mangere, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And joining me and Ella to talk more about the event are Matala Or, Eleanor Barlow, Vasa Tuleafua, and Bronson Sayuli. Welcome on the show, guys.
Talofa lava, everyone. Welcome to our interview this morning. Talofa lava to everyone. This afternoon, sorry. Talofa lava to everyone that's tuning in to our interview. You've got myself. I'm Vasa Tuleafua. This is Bronson Sayuli, and below there we've got the sister Matala Or Barlow. Thank you for having us on the show today, Lorenzo and Ella.
Thank you guys for coming on the show. Now, first of all, how is all the planning going so far? Tomorrow is a day, as a special day, as a massive day for our Samoan youth and all our Pacific young people. How is the planning going?
So at the moment, as you can tell, myself and Bronson are tuning in from the car. We are currently over the shore. We've just picked up the t-shirts for our volunteers, and now we're here doing this. So we're doing we're running a lot of errands today, getting stuff prepared for all our tupulanga tomorrow, and the sister Oa is there doing all the online stuff while we do all the runaround. So the planning is busy, but it's good and we love it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Not only is this event youth focused, but it is youth led. Can you talk about why it's important for our tupulanga talavo to not only, be part of these events, getting vaccinated, but also in coordination and organizational roles?
I think the push for the involvement of the tupulanga is just to encourage all of our young people, our youth in our community to jump on board, because we're exposed to social media, well, more so than other generations of our community, which means that we're just prone to listening to a lot of misinformation regarding the vaccine and the virus. There are videos on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram that really share a lot of knowledge that by people who aren't qualified or who aren't medical professionals. So we're trying to reach out to youth. The other thing is through that it's easier for Pacifica youth to take on board information that is given regarding the vaccine and regarding COVID by Pacifica youth. So it's for the youth, by the youth.
And here's a question for Matala. I've seen you growing. I'm knowing your mom, Tuifasina Maria Rafael, such an awesome, leader. But to follow your mom's footsteps, Matala, how has that experience been for you?
It's been really incredible being so exposed to the processes and the just organisation and mobilisation of our communities, just seeing, having that avenue open to me and seeing how things get from picking a site to, getting funding to trying to get the community involved. It's like getting an overview of how how we can try to engage with the community, but also bringing all of these different factors into this one event. And I think that's what has truly resonated throughout this entire campaign. Is it's not just, you know, one person that's doing on this group. It's a whole group of people who are coming together behind this one initiative, and that's to get our people vaccinated. And that's why she saw, we've been having discussions, and she saw that the youth space needs to be the most active, the most engaged, because we are the largest number of unvaccinated population. So it's not that we're trying to mobilize just, you know, a small group of people. We're trying to mobilize the largest group of unvaccinated people in our community. So that's why she's been driving me, I think, for weeks and weeks. She was nagging me, be like, you know, are you going to give some time to the youth? Are you going to give some time to vaccination? And so, Mum, I will shout you out now. I've given all my time to the vaccination, but it is truly my safe and happy place. And it's brought me a lot of happiness and joy to connect with my tupulanga Samoa in Auckland and making these connections as well. So it's a privilege for me to be here as well.
As we saw in many other vaccination events, including that of the North Shore Samoa Tutu Fa'atasi vaccination event, there were a lot of incentives, live entertainment, stalls. Will this be on offer tomorrow?
Yep. So we've worked tirelessly in the short amount of time that we've had, and we're just so blessed that we've had a lot of locally Pacifica-owned businesses that have jumped on board to help us out or donate to the event in the form of giveaways or other ways of sponsoring. So we really want to say a big thank you to all these businesses: the Pacific Business Hub, Jovi Studio, Danica Cooper Jewelry, Old Country Food, Viola Av Goodies, and Witter Athlete, and Lila's Miasina as well. So those are some of our locally owned businesses that have put their services or donated to our event to help out with our spot prizes and giveaways tomorrow.
Sorry, can I just also add, Chimana Wholesale Autos as well have jumped on board. We've reached out to them, and shout out to Uncle Ganmana. Thank you so much for your support and hearing the call. This is it. We are just a small group of individuals that have come together. So it's not that we have, you know, just direct access to funding. Everything has been sponsored, and we've reached out to the community, and they've heard our call, and they've showed up for us to do what we can do for our community.
That's great to know some of our Pacific and Samoa-owned businesses are now on board to support the event. Sorry, Vassal, did you want to add something to...
Sorry, I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Councillor Josephine Bartley for securing our 200 food parcels from South Seas. We can't forget her because she's been one of the biggest supporters behind all three of our events. So yeah, I just wanted to give her a huge shout out.
And surely it hasn't been an easy process, you know, organising the events. What are some of the barriers that you have experienced in, you know, leading up to and organising these events for our Pacifica youth?
Yes, so I can speak to some of the processes. From the logistical side of things, it's about securing a site that we're actually able to use, and then start reaching out to some of our health providers to see who will be able to facilitate the vaccinations itself, as well as seeing who can sponsor just things coming from sunscreen for volunteers in the day to gazebos. These are all the things that people have come forward to do, as well as NHRCC, who have been working hand in hand with us and allowing this to happen. They've also sponsored our sausage sizzle so that we can give something back to the community and the families who are coming forward to get vaccinated. So, and also the biggest job and most important job is reaching out to our youth. So not just our South Auckland youth, not just the North Shore youth, but the entire Tupulanga Samoa of Auckland from all religious denominations. So that's the biggest part. So we've reached out to whoever, like friends that we haven't spoken to in years. We'll be like, hey, we've got this event, like, how are you? Now come to my event. So it's been great making those connections again in the community.
Now,
and I think I'll add to that as well.
Sorry.
Again, sorry, I'm so sorry, Ella. But Another barrier that we've had is being Tupulanga Samoa. We're not a legal entity or organization. So the fundings that we've applied for, it's been really, really hard because, you know, we don't really have that legal security around the funding that comes through. However, we've been so blessed to, you know, have like the Cause Collective and some support from like Maria Rafaele and all these different these different people to help support and secure our funding as well. So that's another barrier. It's just not having that, you know, that secure bank account, especially for our group, but trying to, you know, find ways to get the funding for us.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on, you know, as youth, we have lived in a world of social media and technology, and I'll kind of direct this question to Bronson, as he's very active on social media. And what has, as like in terms of outreach, what initiatives or what strategies have you guys used to really reach out to our youth through social media and the various other platforms?
We've all just been trying our best, and Matala always done a great job of putting together some videos, as well as Mina, one of our other youth leaders, been putting videos and TikToks together to sort of be or appear more relatable to our youth. And so we've done the whole social media thing. Everyone's been told to share what they can from their various social forums or platforms. And yeah, that's, I think, the bulk of what we can do in terms of advertising our event is just through social media. So we've all been sharing our videos and of course the posters with the details of the event through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Sorry, so I'll just add to that, since Mina and I have been leading that space. We have been discussing just things that we can try and open the conversation up around vaccination. So, you know, like what having your own muli maus or testimonies about what your experience was after you were vaccinated, you know, what were some of the symptoms that you had or after effects that you had after your vaccination. So those are all going up, as well as your testimonies and why you chose to get vaccinated. So it's not making vaccination this big yes or no decision. It's being like, come to us, have a talanoa with us. You know, we're here for you. You're our brothers and sisters, and we always have the space for you to come and talk to us, because we are all vaccinated and we can have that conversation with you. And there shouldn't be any barrier to stop that conversation going on between our tupulanga.
I have no doubt that, you know, you have reached out to our lotus, you know, ecclesia and church communities. What is the response from our youth groups, you know, within church communities?
I think I can answer to that. You know, a couple of weeks ago, we started the event at the St. Therese Catholic Church in Mangele, and that was led by the Mangele Catholic Youth, and that's you know, led by myself and Bronson, as well as some of the members of Tupulanga Samoa. And I think that, you know, starting these events within our churches encourages other churches to do the same, and encourages Tupulanga to believe that if our youth can do it, then they can do the same as well. And I think that's the whole point of Tupulanga Samoa as well, is bringing our young youth from different denominations across South Auckland, across Auckland, to try and, you know, think up ways that we know can attract our Tupulanga safely, and yeah, and pretty much just making sure that the messages we get across are our personal messages that nobody can question, that they're truthful stories and stuff like that. And not only that, but, you know, getting your ministers and councillors on board too. That'll help the push of the event, not only for the youth, but the community in general.
Now, you can answer this individually, but to our youth, you know, to our tupulanga, what would be some, you know, final words of encouragement for them if they are either, you know, sitting on the fence or maybe just a bit scared about the whole process? Can you kind of, you know, assure them that the process is completely safe and that it'll be a safe space full of their own people, as it is, you know, an event for our youth by our youth? So yeah, some final words of encouragement.
I'll go first. So it's just what you said. and also what Vasa was talking about, having a safe space. So we want to create the energy, we want to create the atmosphere, and being youth, we know how to relate to other youth and know what they will respond to. And if that's like, you know, just a video call or a group chat where people can come forward with their questions, or linking them to actual professional and scientifically backed research, but just for them to come forward, this, you know, there seems to be this huge divide when there really shouldn't be. And it's not that, you know, this isn't just a South Auckland, this isn't just an Aotearoa pandemic, this is a global pandemic. And you know, the virus doesn't see color, doesn't see age, and so we shouldn't use that to divide ourselves. So just don't isolate yourself, come forward. There is no reason for you to linger on those questions. You know, come forward with your questions, and there's always a space, safe space for you to sit there and have a conversation with someone.
Yeah, just adding on to what Or said, my advice would be to don't be scared. If you're feeling scared, don't be. Reach out to us young people. If you can't reach out to your doctors, to your parents, or to your community members, reach out to us, because we understand you and we want to hear you. And we also really, really want to help you. So don't be scared, don't be afraid. Your voice is important. And, you know, in order for it to be heard, you have to open up and come forward, like Or said. But yeah, that's from me.
Yeah, I think these two have said pretty much everything that I want to say, but I guess for my last few words, I just want to send out a last invitation or call out to all our tupulanga to come down to our event tomorrow. You may or may not be aware, but there's about 3 or 4 other events within the same area tomorrow, down at the Mangele Town Centre. So like I've been telling everyone that I've already told before, all these events that are happening in Mangele, I've said it on my other interviews, and we drove past a beautiful Tongan Methodist church in Mangreen, Mangele, next to Pack and Save. They've got their flags up and everything. Drive straight past there and come down to the Maota Samoa. We'll be there from 11 to 4 p.m. team.
Place to be.
Just one final question from me, guys, and I think it's a great opportunity for me to ask this question. I may not have another chance to, but our politicians, you know, our Pacific leaders are listening in, to be very honest. MPP, MOH. What message would you want them to know and to hear from youth leaders like yourselves?
This is something that I was actually thinking about last night. So I guess my message to them would be, if they could bring us all together, not just the Samoan, but the Tongan, the Fijians, all our Pacific brothers and sisters. Give us the space to all connect and come together, so that, you know, we can create maybe a pan-Pacific or entirely integrated Pacific youth vaccination. It doesn't have to be just a Samoa youth, doesn't just have to be Tongan youth, but give us the space to connect with each other and bring fresh new ideas to address some of the issues that we have, and hear other perspectives as well, and see the learnings and the challenges that they've had to deal with, so we can take it on board. And also directly from them as well, maybe because they're trying to shift to be targeted campaigns, and we are a youth-led, youth target campaign. So if they can, you know, have a conversation around allowing us, you know, direct access to some of the funding instead of having to come under all of these separate entities, it will make our job easier to do what we can do for our youth.
For me, I think, just to add on to what Or was saying, I think it's simple. It's just hearing us. Like, we can have all of these different Zooms, these different meetings, these different ideas, but as like from past experience, we've been sharing, but it's just the message just somehow doesn't get across, or it gets across and then they do nothing about it. And so pretty much all I want to ask and advise our ministries is just to hear out the youth and support them with whatever it is that they come to you for. It's hard for a youth member because, you know, being a Samoan, is big in our culture, and so we don't want to override those steps with, you know, just with our cultural traditions. But society is different now. It's more modern. We understand, we know, and we can do it if you guys support us. And that'll be my message to our ministries.
I think everyone now can see, especially those who are sort of at the head of all these organizations and, you know, that have been leading these kind of movements, that the youth have now stepped up and really taken a big lead in this situation with the COVID vaccine events. And so they can see that the youth are able to do stuff. We're able to organize. We're able to take on all this responsibility. So moving forward, maybe there could be some way that they're able to officialize this kind of thing that we're doing, whatever it is.
Thanks so much, guys. You've heard it from the youth leaders. They can thrive, they can strive when they get given the right resources and the support, and they can do anything with your support. Thank you so much, guys, and all the best for tomorrow. We'll see you at your events tomorrow at 9 a.m. Make sure we'll get some t-shirts. Thank you so much.
Before we go, we would like to say thank you so much to you both for giving us the opportunity to come on here and promote our event. So we hope that from this interview we do get a good turnout tomorrow, and we will see you guys there tomorrow as well. Thank you guys again so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Bronson Sayuli, Vasatulea Fua, Matalaoa, Eleanor Barrow of the Samoa Youth Tufatasi drive-through vaccination event tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Mount Samoa number 141 Beta Drive, Mangere. You heard it from them. Drive past that Tongan vaccination drive-through and that one in Mangere Town Centre and the one at the LDS Chapel on Robertson Road. Make your way, take your family and your neighbours, take your village, take your church community to and support our Samoan youth Tupulanga Telefo for their event tomorrow. Bring a friend with you and be in to win some spot prices. Music and live performances. Oh man, I cannot wait. Myself and Ella will be there tomorrow. Ella, great interview. Great interview. And I love that message. And I wanted to ask that question because our leaders, our Pacific leaders, and especially ministry, agencies, they need to hear this sort of message from our young people, Ella.
Yeah, definitely. I think what Bronson said was really important. He said they need to officialize youth and these organizations that are led by youth, because like he said, we live in a different world now. We need to embrace change in the world we live in now, and youth are at the forefront of a lot of these incredibly multifaceted issues in society. So yeah, really, really great to see the mana and the strength of these young people. And yeah, we'll see you there tomorrow.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, 25 minutes to 4 o'clock. COVID update for today, 29th of October 2021. 125 new positive cases in the community, 118 in Auckland, 4 in Waikato, 2 in Canterbury, and 1 in Northland. What does that tell us? It means that we need to be vaccinated, you need to get tested, you need to get checked to make sure that you are safe, your family is safe from COVID-19. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be going live on PM Samoa Blue TV from the events tomorrow. So far, so far.
So far, yeah.